That's good.
This is I just want to look manly, So this is the best. Yeah, yeah. Get my Iron Man suit.
That's good. Yeah. Can you grow a beard or? Alrighty. What's up, everyone? As you can see, we have a guest today, Coach Ray, who's prepping for a very big match at East versus West. How you doing, man?
It's at Bowen, okay?
Oh man. So I know you just woke up, had a late night, just been training insane.
It's been a lot of work. Like I made that post yesterday, and everyone's kind of I did like 3 podcasts yesterday, and even though it doesn't look like it's much just talking, I was still wrecked.
Yeah.
So but I'm really happy to be here, and I'm excited for the big match, and I think it's the big match. I think
Yeah.
you look card that is the big match.
So I know that you've met Ryan in person at least once, right? At
Twice,
was it at
yes.
Lottie?
In John's house and in Zloty, yeah. I think
Uh,
it's same year, 2019. Yeah.
so you've gripped up with him before, even
Yeah.
if it's on the practice table, so you know what his hand feels like. Kind of have
I
a
I I actually don't know because
no? Okay.
he will say that he was, oh my God, like in John's house, he was like, oh, I was wrecked and everything else. Like I didn't pull like 20 classes. The hell are you saying? I was wrecked too, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's uh, I didn't get much out of those training sessions. I'm not that guy that's gonna like, oh my God, there's no chance he can do anything to me. You just look at these videos. No, it was not. I don't remember anything. I remember we took arms, and as soon as I pressed down, like everything gave up, and that's it. That's all I remember. So,
Yeah. So how long have you known this match was going to happen for? Has it been a few months roughly?
it was announced after last East versus West,
Okay.
so
So
at the end of May, I think. So it's been like good 8-9 weeks of preparation. So,
yeah.
but that match was supposed to, happen like a long, long time. We was thinking like bottom 8-2. Then we were thinking like Arm Wars reality check. Then we were thinking something maybe in India for Pro Panja League, and then some other. And eventually he's like, Engen's not gonna pull me. Would you pull me? I'm like, yeah, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
So I don't know how much you've spoken about your prep at this stage, at least speaking to others, being on other podcasts and whatnot. But can you tell us a bit about how your training has looked in the last 8-9 weeks?
Yes. So as soon as I got back from East versus West 3, I started training because I like my first half of this year, like up until May, it was crazy. I think I did like, I don't know, 20 flights plus. Uh, I was more than, I think, a month and a half away from home, and I traveled almost every 7-10 days, like
Mm.
constantly.
I
So
see.
it's been rough.
Yeah, I see you're traveling a lot, which has got to be taxing to some degree as well. So I don't know.
Yes.
For me, if I'm traveling or deviating from my programming, I just feel like mentally I'm just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But at least if you can make the most out of it, get some good training sessions in with different clubs, different areas, I'm sure it's paying off. Mm.
It didn't.
I did. Okay,
It
well now we
absolutely
know.
didn't. But like at the start of the year, I did good preparation. I think like 6 weeks nonstop for Arm Wars, for Iron House, and then and everything else was like as soon as I got home, I trained every day. So I didn't. I think I got sick like 3 times in that time because like the traveling will wreck your body. Everyone will say whatever they want to say. It wrecks your body.
Yeah.
And getting on good training schedule, on good sleeping and living schedule. It's again these three things are not working, and still. First half of that year was pretty good for me. Like I don't think I have ever done that well. Like every competition I pulled top three. So I got back, and like 2 days later, I got the call. So I have trained every day for all this time. So 8-9 weeks. I had 2 days off in Dubai where I didn't train, where I rested myself. And one was traveling back from Dubai. Another one was one day before the event of King of Table 4. And then last week I had one day where I pulled in competition with left, but I didn't pull with right. But I have trained every day up until then. So it goes like 60 or 70 training sessions, something ridiculous. And I have everything written down. And that was one thing, consistency. The other thing was I did not chase big lifts. I chased control and being able to put in a lot of work, like as much, like if I can put in like 10 sets of one exercise, I'm getting will get better at that exercise eventually. I don't need to push my, like, do 5 sets of 5. So it was different approach that I have done previously, even at the start of the year. But like everything I did, that just feels great on table. Like I haven't lost a single practice match in a month, and once or twice a week I go to practice. Like 2 weeks ago I started practicing with the best guys in Latvia. It went down with the little lower level guys, so no one, I don't get injured, I don't over stress myself and things like that. But like from every training session, there was some times where I felt like, a little sore, but little sore is different than just being really sore and just continuously going and going. It's so for my training, what I didn't tell on any other podcast is, so I did like 2 schedules. One was before Dubai and one was after Dubai, because I looked at Dubai as a chance, to, okay, I'm still going to train there, but I should change everything because it's a long time, different equipment and things like that. And I had six workouts, which I rotated one after another up until pulling day, and then I continue. So it usually was like at the start, it was 3 side pressure trainings with the side pressure and hand dominance, and then back pressure. Now it was 5 training sessions, 2 for back pressure, 3 for side pressure. And I just keep rotating them, Like yesterday, I did my side pressure. Today, I'm going to do back pressure after we finish. And then Monday again, and then again. And it's not overdoing, it's not over stressing. I get a lot of work in, and that's like, I never felt this good, and I feel really, 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 like my confidence has never been higher. And sometimes I'm like, I go on practice tables, and like last practice I had in the gym, like my club, I have like 20 plus guys in the gym, everyone's pulling, and everyone who has pulled me for past month, no one wants to pull me, because I don't have, like, guys will start and I don't feel anything. And it's, you don't feel good when you pull someone and just let, you cannot get anything. But I need those arms, I need to get those reps and everything. So I was like, I'll pay you 20 euros if anyone can pull me past the center. And they're like, nah, then it goes 50. And then I'm like, okay, everyone in a line, you start slow. That doesn't matter. Start how you want. And everyone, like 15 minutes later, no one's in that line. Everyone just went away. And I was like, oh, damn it, And there was one other time in 2014 when my left was really, really strong. I was preparing for Armour's match versus Jeff Hale. And that was a similar situation where no one was pulling me in the club. I was like, I'm going to make a new club, guys. You guys a bunch of but it's good. Like I don't know how, how Lachlan feels, because he's so strong. Like even like I do my full training session, and then I pull on table, and still like I need like the best of the best guys to get something going, because it's for me, it's better when you're chasing. It's not, it's
100%.
if I put my arm down and it feels, I
Yeah.
get nothing, it's so weird. It's so weird. And of course it feels good, but then you can get overconfident, then you can get those pitfalls, or, and I don't want those. I want to continuously get better and better and see where I'm at. So.
So how are you currently balancing it? I know you said that, you were training basically every day, which at least for me, if I'm training every day, it's very, very easy to overtrain, and you get past that good sort of soreness, and you start getting into that joint ache, which is just horrible. And then you realize you have to take a step back. And when I do it, I usually just have to be super conservative with weights if I'm going to train at that intensity, or I'll drop a few days and then raise the intensity in each session. So how do you go about basically keeping that level of volume going and still feeling good moving forward into the next session and the next session?
Yeah. So I don't think I have any session where I regressed in weights. I think in every training session I did, I increased weights. So my like either I'm gonna increase the weights in exercise or the total volume. If I can lift total volume is bigger than the previous week, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest problems is usually our ego. Our ego is like, you can lift more. Hey, buddy, lift more, and it's always there. And so for me is always like, I will check my form. If I don't feel like my form is good, I cannot lift that. I have to lift either less reps or less weight.
Mhm.
So form is number one. Number two is feeling. So if I can, if I'm doing an exercise and after let's say 10 reps, and after rep 5, it like I need to really push myself for some positions, because let's say like I'm doing back pressure and like this part is stronger than this part. So here it's easy and then it gets really strong. I'm doing too much. I'm like, I can't explain it, but I say, don't push yourself where you're not working, where you actually are trying something. People say, well, balls to the wall, no pain, no gain. But I want to get as much work in as possible. As soon as you're lifting something big, your form is going to drop. You're almost all the time going to lose your form. So if I can consistently keep going, pushing a little bitsy forward, and my form doesn't break, I'm going to get better. And in arm wrestling, it's not always like big lifts, like deadlift. You're worried about your lockout, so you work on your lockout. For us, it's the small parts, like your or angles where you are strong. You might be strong in this position when moves a little bit over, you're weak there. So working on those things. But for me, it was like, ego aside, I'm not in competition with anyone. I don't care. I clearly don't care. Like, you can lift more, but I will still beat you on table. So that's my only denominator. And I don't know how I can put it in right words, but getting work done, not lifting weights.
100%.
Because people want to lift weights for lifting weights, or they want to do 1 rep maxes for 1 rep maxes.
Yeah.
I'm not there to do 1 rep maxes. Arm wrestling is not about that. There's no competition for arm wrestling 1 rep maxes. Yeah, if you go there and just do 1 rep maxes, if you do it consistently and you have like a backing of a good training program like Tadzilla has, that makes sense. But if you just like, oh, how about today we do side pressure to the max, and next day you do something different, and then you don't come back to this. If you consistently, let's do the side pressure to the max, let's build on it, let's test it again. That makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
100%.
So
yeah.
But the ego is always there. It's always like you see someone and someone lifts a little bit bigger. Like, I have my guys that are like, let's say, I would say amateur levels, and they trying to match me for weights or even go higher, and their form is breaking down. And that's a big pitfall. I'm like, go back, no, I can do more. I'm like, no, you fucking can. You look at the starter position, not at the end. So if the first and last rep of the first and last set doesn't look the same, you're doing 2 different exercises. So I just follow that. I put everything aside, because for me, only thing that matters is I'm a beast on table, and still the weights increased. Most of the weights that I'm repping is way above most people. So, it will come. You just put in a lot of work. And arm wrestling, as you know, you get on table, you might be really, really strong, but you're not coordinated, doesn't matter at all. Yeah. So getting more reps in will make you more coordinated, because that's what you're doing. You're doing that extra movement, those 10,000 kicks or whatever. The problem is guys will go and do forearms, and they will do 5 sets of 5, and that's it. And of course, you don't know what you're doing. If you just did 25 reps, I did 200 reps in that session, in a total. Another thing, I don't do like super high volume like Devin is doing and things like that. Because I look at it like I cannot concentrate on every rep. If I cannot concentrate on every rep, I'm not doing those reps. You know, so it's usually 5 sets of 10, 6 sets of 10. I go down to 6 reps like 2 weeks before. Now I'm doing speed reps, maybe 3 reps, but like 8 sets. And it's all about speed, explosiveness, because the way I train, I got really slow. I get really, really strong, but really, really slow. So you put it's not easy. You put everything in together, and eventually you find some of those formulas. But I figured that a lot of stuff that Giannis is doing will not work for me. A lot of stuff that I'm doing will not work for him, and for some other guys. So everyone's a little bit different, but there's some main things, and I think we're overstretching ourselves. If the guy can lift, like everyone was at one point like doing strict curls, like my strict curls maybe 60 kilos. Like I don't do biceps, I don't care, but most likely I'm stronger than Hook than most people there. So it's not the thing that is making those hooks better. You should be looking at things that are making those hooks better. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's so many exercises the guys are doing religiously would have zero effect. Like everyone's like, why do you bench press? Because I feel strong. You cannot argue with that. I just feel strong. I feel better. My chest feels stronger. My arms feel stronger. My shoulders, everything feels stronger. Just let me have that. And if someone gives me that explanation, I have no problem. Like if someone like lifts big bicep lifts and they say, I just feel better with it. I'm like, do it. Do it.
Yeah, and I think that's really true. Especially for me, I don't find that bench carries over all that well. Whereas doing some curl variations seem to work for me. So I think people need to stop comparing themselves to others and just find what works for them. As long as you're being safe, like you're going to continue to grow and get better. But like you said, people just see someone doing this amount of weight on this exercise and try to emulate it, and their form breaks and they get injured and they think that they're doing it just as well. And it's like, no, you're no longer getting that work in, and therefore it's not going to translate to the table as well. So it's good that we just humble ourselves, and it's actually taken a long time for me, and I know a lot of people, just to put your ego aside and start doing things that are going to better you, not just what's going to look good in a video. So
it's I think, and it's one of those things that everyone has, like especially when you start and you are weak, you want to get strong, and you think like being strong means lifting weights that are big, lifting them up, not even working with them. So and like I have so many juniors, so many beginners, and I just I blast them on everything I have with them. And I have to explain, we need to be on the same page. If you're training with me, you need to be on the same page. You need to understand what is the end goal, what we're trying to achieve, because there's so many some things that we are doing here. Most people are we're really not big on bicep lifts. Like all those lifts, me and Giannis were like, oh my God, like we would 70 kilos, 80 kilos, that would be like absolute max, whatever we can bring in. But we do partial curls that are way beyond most people doing. So, you know what I mean. So you train specific. You don't train to look good on video or something else. So there's only one goal in this, and it's getting better at arm wrestling. It's not lifting,
sure.
It's supplemental.
Yeah, interesting. So you're going to be, so when do you fly out?
I'm flying out Thursday. Ryan is arriving on Wednesday morning, so I'm going to be Thursday very late. I'm going to be there Friday, Saturday, and leaving on Sunday. So yeah,
at least you've got at least 2 days to adjust to the jet lag and the time zones.
No time zone difference, no jet
Isn't it?
lag.
Wait, is it in
Same time zone?
Whereabouts is it being held in Turkey? Is it in Turkey?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That actually works pretty well.
It's we're like this. So if you look at the globe,
right.
we're in a straight line. Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah.
No, nothing for me. So I was like, I said so many things are against Ryan in this one. First of all, the world. Second of all, the jet lag. However you feel, especially like we will have the matches at like 8 or something. So that is like 3 a.m. for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you want, that is right between where you are falling asleep and waking up.
All of these events in Australia, they're always in that, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So if you want to watch it, you've basically just got to stay up and pull an all-nighter, because by the time it starts and finishes, it's a good 6-hour window in that sleep cycle. So yeah, I know I did my friend and I stayed up to watch the last East versus West, which I think started around 2 a.m. And then it finished at around 7:30 a.m. And then we just went to go train. We're like, we're not going to go to sleep. Let's just go train. And we had the worst session of our life. But yeah, it was good.
Get motivation from those matches from Zurab and John, like, fucking do this.
We were just hyped up. Like, we're not going to bed now. We've just had 10 coffees.
Yeah, it is. I usually wake up really early to watch UFC where I'm interested in fight. So it's like 4, 5, 6, and you go to sleep at 8. You're like, okay, there's no need to go to sleep now.
Yeah. So I know that you've also got Lockie Adair coming over to verse your boy as well, Sanders. So have you basically done a prediction on what you think's going to happen for most of these matches, particularly?
I think Sanders is the favorite, and everyone who follows arm wrestling, Lachlan I think he's really good and strong. The problem is geographical problem. He needs more competition. He needs to be more active. If he beats Sanders or gets Sanders in hook, or Sanders cannot top roll him, I'll be super surprised, and I'll be very, very impressed. I think Lachlan is awesome. I really like. I've been saying this for years. I think he's so dedicated, so smart, so ridiculously strong. Every door is open. This match, I think Sanders has way more experience, way more achievements, is way more technically better, can pull in every style, very, very good. And he has all those things going. If Lachlan isn't 2 times stronger, it will be very, very hard for him to win that match.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that statement, especially, I think most people would agree that in raw power, Lockie's probably got the edge. And in some of the comparison lifts which they've been sending each other back and forth, you can kind of see where they're at. But again, you have to just go experience, knowledge, years in the sport to Sanders.
And this is not an unpopular opinion, but speed. Sanders has way more speed. Sanders is so weird. Me and Giannis, we get eye cancer when he stands on table, because he looks so. He just he does this, and then he flash pins everyone, and we're like, what the hell is happening? I remember in Zloty 2018 when he won 105 kilo class. It was me and Giannis were standing, and he just goes and starts blasting like the best pullers on one. We're like, what the hell is going on? And Sanders comes off the stage. He's like, what the hell is going on? So he has that second gear when it's needed. He makes sometimes some dumb mistakes, some overconfident mistakes, but the speed will be a big factor if Lachlan can contain the speed of Sanders, because where Sanders is, like Lachlan said, he likes the guys that are low hand top rollers. I don't think he has faced anyone like that. I don't think it's, we are eating shit with Sanders. Everyone here, he comes to training sessions and can kill everyone for 2 hours. So endurance is good. I really want to see Lachlan, prosper and be good and strong. And I just for me, super matches is so weird, because you're just pulling one guy, and and if you're not doing a lot of tournaments, I have no idea. Where do you rank him? Number 1 or number 100? Fuck knows.
And that's the thing. I think that's especially because of the hype of super match structure in the last few years. We've had East versus West, King of the Table, and it's just, a lot of super matches happening. However, you can only have so many, but it's still not going to allow for all of the competitors we want to face who we want. So I don't know. I think that tournament styles would actually facilitate more activity, more experience, and would actually know more accurately who's that want, that number 5, that number 10, that number 15, and everything would make sense. But without that, you only have super matches which don't tell a true story because they can't happen frequently enough. So I don't know.
I think like the one solution for this would be like make rankings between the leagues, so every league is the same ranking, so every puller who pulls there is in the same ranking, and if you beat the guy, you move up there. They might not be like really correct, but they would tell us reality. That is, if this guy beat that guy, he moves forward, where he is now, and things like that. That could kind of make sense, but you need unified leagues for that, or we need big tournaments. Like there's hasn't been big tournament since
No,
19.
because we haven't had we haven't had obviously much happening through top 8, Zloty, all that sort of stuff. Whale has been inactive for a very long time now, so yeah, I don't know. What do? You just go through WAF, compete at Worlds, but yeah, there's not really much else happening.
Yeah, well, it's still the proving ground is the WAF Worlds, but there's not a lot of guys can compete there, and if we need, like, Engin's already talking, maybe he will do a tournament, and I would suggest to do a tournament on the same day and then super matches in the evening, and you put on some, like, Moldova was so big, they came out of nowhere. Cobra, Travis, they put in so much money that people were excited to compete there, and I traveled there, with Vlad, and there were so many people there just to compete, just to try. And so if you put on money and you put on prestige, so those things you want, if you can get that respect because you won that tournament in the toughest crowd possible, people gonna come, because in all, arm wrestlers are, I don't think if you put money and you put respect, when the money is not enough, respect is what we're fighting for. Because that is, you want to be like everyone. You walk in a room and everyone knows you're the toughest guy. They're like, yeah,
Sure.
that's a good achievement. So if the money and respect kind of goes hand in hand, like it's not ridiculous amounts of money, but it's enough that where it's worth your time.
Yep.
I think tournament could be a big possibility, especially in Turkey. So
interesting. Yeah. So big question is, if you beat Ryan Bowen, where do you go next? What's next for you?
So I have already Arm Wars. I'm pulling Arm Wars Iron House 2.
Yep.
First matches with both arms is Tom Holland. After that, we'll see what's next. I love Tom for one good reason. Tom will arm wrestle you. Me and Tom, like, it's not like I'm gonna try some things to do with Tom where it's like you get those badges of honor if you can beat them. If you can beat him in a hook, that's awesome. If you can take his hand, that's even more awesome. But it's not like he will just try to flash pin me, and I'm most likely I will not try to flash pin him. So we will have a good match, and I love those guys. Then it's I have Pinemal. That's a promotion from Germany. They make Strength Wars and Pinemal.
I've seen
they have awesome videos. Those videos are awesome.
Who's that guy from Pinemal? He's a really big guy. I've seen him. He's also
Leonidas Arcona.
Leonidas. Yeah, Leonidas.
Yeah,
I've seen him, and I think it was a few months ago. He I haven't watched any videos lately, but I saw a few super matches. Matthias Schlitt from Germany competed in it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really interesting. So I think he even said he wanted Larry Wheels at some stage.
Yeah, his left is like really good, and I think I don't know what's going on with Larry, because I think his left is way better than his right. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's injured. It doesn't feel that good. Shut the fuck up.
That's what he said.
Pretty good
over the top when he came, and his left felt dynamite.
Yeah.
I
don't understand what's happening there, but that match could be good. So I'm pulling there, maybe 1-2 matches as well, and it's in September, and Devon is coming over as well. I don't know if I can say who I'm pulling, or maybe they releasing the videos later and things like that, but it's up in there, and then some more things are coming. So I had these 2 months which would be considered my vacation where I didn't even go to the beach or anything. I was just training hard.
Yeah.
And then I have to get back to work and travel 20 times. So
So it just doesn't stop.
no, it doesn't stop. Arm wrestling doesn't stop. It's we live in a this is social media era of arm wrestling, and it's great. You know, we're making more fans than ever. There's more people involved. There's more money involved than ever. There's more eyes on us than ever. And if we can do some good things where the sport actually comes out on top at the end of this, that would be awesome.
For sure. Yeah. Good. Alrighty. We might wrap her up because Zoom is about to kick us out. But I'll just say good luck for your match. And anyone in the comment section, let us know who you think's going to win. And if you don't say Coach Ray, just unsubscribe from my channel. No.
That's hashtag Bowen.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Thanks for tuning in.